Welcome to whiskeypreacher.com. I'm your host, Phil Shepard, better known as the Whiskey Preacher, and I've entitled this vidcast, Who the Hell is Jesus? Part 2, The Interfaith Jesus. As many of you know, I get to co-pastor this amazing faith community called the Eucatastrophe here in Fort Worth. And as a part of our journey as followers of God through the way of Jesus, traveling together, we came up with a series of dialogues that we wanted to have within our community. And that was, who the hell is Jesus? Many of us who grew up in the institutional church, whether it be a mainline denomination, whether it be an evangelical denomination, or some offshoot of either one of them, we have set aside the idea, at least many of us have, our ideas of what Jesus looked like in our childhood and youth. And some of us, believe it or not, as crazy as this also sounds, some of us that grew up in the Bible Belt never really thought about who Jesus is, never really knew anything about Jesus, and never really wanted to know about anything about Jesus until now. And we started diving into different facets of who Jesus is. I know it's weird. A community that claims to journey together, to follow God through the way of Jesus, actually wants to know more about Jesus. All crazy. So we've looked at different angles of who Jesus is. One week we talked about the personal evangelical Jesus. Another week we talked about the tangible Jesus who ate and drank with people who claim to be his followers and claim to be his enemies. And how does that look like here today? And how do we find Jesus in the midst of the meals and the conversations that we have here and now? In the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about the political and historical Jesus. And as a part of that, we watched this amazing documentary. It's a 3-part series on the Discovery Channel that you can find on Netflix called Who is Jesus? And we got to see a different angle of the political culture that Jesus grew up in. And this next week, I may be the most excited about out of this entire series, Who the Hell is Jesus, we've been doing, is because we're having a Reformed Jewish student who happens to go to Bright Divinity School at TCU come in and share their perspective of who Jesus was. And I find that really important to have these interfaith conversations as communities of quote-unquote Christian faith. I think we do a disservice to the greater kingdom of God when we think that we have the exclusive corner on divinity. I know that probably makes me a heretic. I've been called worse probably by some of my family and friends. Actually, I have been called worse by my family and friends now I think about it. But I think it's really important that we dive more into these conversations. So, on this vidcast, I want to propose these questions that I would love you to start having a conversation either within your own faith community here on Whiskey Preacher or wherever you want to have it. I just want you to begin to ask these questions. 1, do you think it is important to have interfaith conversations with your faith community? And 2, do you know anybody from another faith structure, a Muslim, a Buddhist, somebody from the Jewish faith, anything? Do you know somebody from another faith? And if you don't, why not? Do we honestly think that we hold the corner, as I said before, in the market of divinity? And maybe that's my 4th question. And if we do think that, then why? Why do we think that we hold the corner market of faith? Please feel free to comment in the section below. You can have this conversation on Twitter. You can use the Ukes hashtag, which is the #THEEUC, or Whiskey Preacher hashtag, which is the #Whiskey Preacher. feel free to actually come and join in the conversation this week. We live broadcast our worship gatherings, and you can go to the Uke's website, which is www.theuke, and that's THEEUC.com. And you can go to our website, click on Uke TV, and you can interact with this conversation. I urge you to do that because it's going to be a very fun and interesting and live conversation that, again, I can't wait to have. You can also join in the conversation on Facebook. You can go to my fan page, Whiskey Preacher. Don't forget to like it. And don't forget to sign up for the Whiskey Updates. I know I keep pushing this, but I'm having tons of fun with this. You can sign up there. Just go right up here. Or right up there. I can't remember where exactly it is on my website. But it's up there somewhere. The Whiskey Updates have exclusive reviews, articles, podcasts, vidcasts that I only create for the Whiskey Updates that I don't share here on whiskeypreacher.com. And we're also having a contest. I can't wait to see where this goes. The contest is whoever mails me the best Jesus kitsch, bobbleheads, playing cards, band-aids, t-shirts, whatever it is, they get a free copy of James Laneto's new book coming out April 1st, Gay Conversations with God. Thanks for popping by, Whiskey Preacher, and I look forward to this conversation. Have a good day.